As an employer, how do we effectively pass on, if we want to, the company NI saving on an electric vehicle salary sacrifice scheme? That's what we're going to try and work out today. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again. Had an interesting email the other day, and it got me thinking. That there's a slight issue with the spreadsheet, not from the perspective of you or I as maybe an employee, but possibly from an employer, if you are kind enough to pass on the company national insurance saving that you will make through a EV salary sacrifice scheme, or any salary sacrifice scheme, really. So I just wanted to try and do a little bit of number crunching just to see where we're at. So as of April the 5th, 2022, company national insurance has gone up by 1.25%. So after the thresholds, which we won't talk about today, you will now pay 15.05%, up from 13.8% previously. And let's also remember from July the 1st, the thresholds are changing. So basically for April, May and June salary, as employees, we're going to be a little bit worse off. And then depending on your salary, you may find you're actually better off from July the 1st because the thresholds are increasing by £3,000. So you pay national insurance later. But if you earn above a certain amount, you're still going to be worse off. Anyway, that's by the by. What I want to do is just go through passing on the company national insurance saving. If you're new to the channel, you can get a copy of the spreadsheet I'm using today, and also my my spreadsheet, which enables you to calculate all things to do with car finance, PCP, HP, voluntary termination, early settlement figures, that kind of thing. And they are £10 each. However, I have recently launched the Car Finance Simplified app, which runs in the Openers app container, and it contains both the electric vehicle salary sacrifice spreadsheet, which also incorporates a salary calculator, running costs, lets you compare electric vehicles with running an ICE car, and also has the PCP and HP calculators, early settlement figures, voluntary termination, everything in the single app, and that's available for $14.99. So it's better value to get the app. I'm just going to use the spreadsheet for now because I can just do a little bit more manipulation using it. So how do we, as I said, pass on the company NI saving if we want to? So from an employee's perspective, it's quite easy. So let's say that we earn £50,000 a year. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on this so you can see what's going on a bit better. There we go. So let's assume we've got, well, I'm not going to add any pension on, I'm not going to add any expenses on, or I'm not even going to add anything to do with company car tax. So let's keep it simple. So standard tax code 1257L, and let's assume we earn £50,000 a year. So without any pension or anything else, from July the 1st, we would net about 3129. Okay. So let's say we are going to salary sacrifice £500 a month, so £6,000 a year. So our new salary for tax and NI purposes becomes £44,000 a year. Let's just get rid of this. So our new net pay, without passing on the company NI saving to the employee, would be about 2795. So the net cost of the car is 33.25%, and that makes sense because personal NI contributions have gone up to 13.25%. So because we're on this example still within the 20% tax band, we are saving 33.25% on the car lease, the salary sacrifice of £500. That's 20% tax and 13.25% NI, which you can see there. So a £500 a month car lease effectively is costing us £333.75. As an employer, we would be saving £75.25 roughly, because we are saving 15.05% of £500 sacrificed. Now this got me thinking, if I basically the way the spreadsheet does this, because it's more aimed at the employee than the employer, if we want to pass on the company national insurance saving, what it does is it takes this £903 a year in this example, or 75.25, and it adds that back onto the salary. Because obviously you can't basically pass on 75.25. You can't. How do you physically give an employee an extra 75.25 a month net? Well, the only way you can do it, if you wanted to pass on 75.25, is to pay them more than that, because they're going to pay tax and national insurance on it. Now, I've assumed in this spreadsheet that what we're going to do is pass on 75.25 a month gross. So the employee is still going to pay national insurance and tax on it. So what happens is when we put 100% in this, so that's basically saying, and you can alter this, but let's say your employer is very kind and they're going to pass on all of that 75.25 a month. Obviously, your net pay is not going to go up by 75.25 because you've got to pay tax and NI on it. And in this example, look, it's going to go up to 2,846. So what's that? About £51 in your pocket. So if you look at this, when we pass on that 75.25 a month gross, the new car net cost is 283.52, or about 43.3%. So we're effectively passing on about another 10% saving on the car, because without it, look, it was a 33.25% saving, so that £500 becomes 333.75. If we pass on all of the saving gross, the net saving becomes 43.3%, because obviously we've paid tax and NI on it. Now that's fine, but then it got me thinking, from an employer's point of view, how are we going to benefit by that? Because if you think about it, and this isn't something I'd considered at the time, if I'm now as an employer paying my employee an extra £903 a year, which is my company NI saving, then if you think about it, because the salary's gone up by £903 a year, I'm going to pay a little bit more company NI on that. You see what I mean? So it kind of got me thinking, and I've added a little bit more onto this now. When you have a benefit, and remember, an electric vehicle has a 2% benefit in kind tax at the moment. So let's now add this on. So let's say the electric car is £50,000, and our benefit in kind percentage for 22-23 up to 24-25 is 2%, which means we've got a benefit value of £1,000. Now the employee, if they're a 20% taxpayer, is going to pay £200 a year, which is 20% of £1,000. But an employer is going to pay national insurance contributions on the benefit. And in this case, then, the benefit is £1,000. So as an employer, you're going to pay 15.05%, which is £150.50 a year, or £12.54. Okay? And then it got me thinking, well, okay, so we've got that to pay for. So that should come out of the 75.25, because otherwise we're now worse off. But then also I've added another line here, look, company NI payable on the company NI saving. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we've added on another £903 a year onto the salary, which is our company NI saving. So we're passing that on to the employee. They then pay tax and national insurance on it. But because we're adding that onto the salary, we've now got to pay, or our employer has got to pay, 15.05% of that. Now, 15.05% of £903 is £135.90, or £11.33 a month. So I suppose what I'm saying is if we pass on the entire company NI saving on the salary sacrificed amount, the employee is going to get the benefit of all of that minus tax and national insurance, but we've still got to pay, and I say we as an employer, our employer has still got to pay £12.54 company NI on the benefit and an extra £11.33 company NI on the company NI saving that we've given back to the employee. So I suppose if you wanted to do it properly and make sure that you're not any worse off as an employer, is that you would basically pass on And this is kind of why it goes round in circles. Because if you think about it, if I then say, okay, well, I'm not going to pass on 75.25 a month to my employee. I'm going to pass on 75.25 minus 12.54 minus 11.33. So I'm actually going to pass on 51.38. But then if I multiply that by 12, my new gross salary extra is 616.56, not 903. And then if I take 15.05% of that, it's only costing me 92.79. And we've accounted for it costing us 135.90. Maybe I'm going too far into this, but it's just an interesting idea that I hadn't considered. So as an employee, it's very easy. You can pass on the total amount, they get the benefit. But as an employer, you've got to remember that you're paying national insurance on the benefit and national insurance on the extra bit that you're giving back to the employee, I think. Anyway, just my musings for today. I hope that was useful. As I said, if you do want a copy of this spreadsheet, it's £10. If you want a copy of my PCP HP calculator, it's £10. But if you want them both in a more easy to use app, it's £14.99. And the nice thing about the app is whenever I make any update, as soon as you go on it, it'll say, oh, there's an update. And you go, okay, and you get it every time. So it's much more easy for me to make changes and get them to you. If you want a copy of any of them, all you have to do is fling me an email to this address here, and you'll get instructions. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can do so here. A few people have, believe it or not. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up. There's plenty of other content on the channel if you're interested in better ways of buying cars, understanding interest rates, APR, voluntary termination, all sorts of things. That's what this channel's about. And until next time, take care.